Welcome to Rack of the Week 166. I want to say welcome to my YouTube members, Russ and Sean. And this is going to be a quick one. Let's just get right into the rack. Yeah, this week we got a below the rack break shot. It's nice to have something different once in a while. I like these break shots. This is just a straight high ball. Cue ball should go to the side rail and then back into the rack area or above it. You can put a little bit of right English on here, but you don't need to get carried away with that. Real good spread of the balls. Now, this is different than the last couple of weeks where I talked about, or last week when I was talking about Joshua Filler, and I said, rack area balls, break shots, and perimeter balls. We don't have that situation here. Little rack analysis. We've got balls spread wide. I've got an up table ball. One of these balls is very likely to become the break ball. I'm probably not going to be looking to run into these balls because the 15 goes here, the 3 ball goes there, and if both of those are done, then the other 2 balls go into this pocket. So, yeah, I mean, that's a close call. You probably could run into those balls with insurance and do good as well, which we're going to see in a moment. I've got only a couple of shots to begin with. What I'd like to do is get that up table ball as soon as possible. I have a traditional end sequence here that I've got a ball into the side pocket that's right above my potential break balls. So right now I'm thinking clear these balls. I've got tons of open balls down table, so I want to get rid of this up table ball, get back down table where I can open up these balls or pick them apart with insurance. Let's take a look. I think, my easiest shot is going to be this 11 in the side. And I look at it and I have enough room to, cue ball is going to be here, and I have enough room to go up and get that 9. So that's an easy decision. Not going to think about much else at the moment. I just want to get up there and get that. I believe. Oh, is that the 9 or the 13? Whatever that ball is up there. Now I ended up too short. I would have liked to have come much farther where I could control the cue ball, possibly come down table for the 7 or the 9 or the 15 or the 5. But I'm too thin on this ball. I can't control the cue ball very well. You can do some type of pinch shot where you use a lot of left English and bring the cue ball over this way, but it's real easy to miss the ball. It's real easy to brush this rail and hang it up. So I don't want to do that. I took a look at what I have, and I'm taking a bit of a chance here, but I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm getting back down table, and I'm going to deal with this little cluster because with a straight high ball on this shot, the cue ball is going to come straight back down table. And I think it's going to hit these balls. I don't want to hit this side of the 4 because the scratch is pretty big there. Hitting this side of the 4, the 15 ball should stop the cue ball. I think this is a risky shot, but I think, especially with so many open balls, but since I didn't come far enough from my up table ball, I'm taking what the table's giving me. And I think this is I'm not saying it's the right play, but I felt good about it at the time. I just don't think there's a big scratch here, and there's a lot of good opportunities. See, even if the cue ball just stopped right at the top of that cluster, I would have had a shot on the 9 or the 2 ball this way. So it's not a bad deal at all. As it is, I've got a shot on the 6, and I've already made a decision here. The balls are almost completely wide open, so that shot turned out fantastic. I've kind of tied up my break area balls, and I want to deal with that. This is automatic because both of these balls, the 3 and the 15, go here. You just pop the 6 in and come up. You stay below the shot line to those 2 balls, and then you can run into these balls in some predictable fashion to open them up, and you'll have insurance like on the 3 back this way or the 9 in the side. So just an ideal situation. It does get a little bit tricky, though, as we'll see. So coming up this high, I've got to shoot the 15, which is fine. That's probably what I was most hoping for, is using the 15 to open these up. And I believe what I'm trying to do is run into the 4, skim the 8, and tap the 15, all very softly. So the 4 goes this way, the 8 goes to the rail, and then I'll have this stripe as a break ball. The cue ball stays right here, and then I have the 3 ball over this way next. And that's almost what happened. So that didn't go according to plan. Got to take what the table can give you. When this happens, you can't be negative. You just got to say, okay, This is where the balls are lying now. Let's just deal with it. Let's find a way to deal with it. So one of these balls still, I think, needs to become my break ball. Now I've got a ball below my break balls, which needs to be removed early. I don't really have a shot on it now because I'm stretched out with a bridge. That would be a terrible shot. I'd like some kind of way to get at these balls. Now, you could use the 7 to get this angle on the 2 and then tap one of those balls. Yeah, maybe that's a possibility. But I'm looking at playing with these balls where they're at. And I believe that the 5 goes in this side pocket. So take what the table gives you. If you don't have a shot that lends itself naturally to open these up, take what the table gives you. Now that I look at it, it's not a bad idea to shoot the 1 ball right now, because if you can control the cue ball this way, softly run into these balls, very softly, you'll probably open them up and you have an insurance ball in both directions, the 4 and the 3. I think that's a pretty good play. I might have been hampered by the 8 ball and then decided not to do that. You see me take a look now. I'm going to come take a look at this combination. Take what the table can give you. Take what the table gives you. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking now. Right now, I'm leaning over to look at how big is the gap between these balls. How controllable is it going to be to shoot this combination in the upper corner pocket and hold the cue ball? So that's definitely a possibility. I decide against it. I think I have to cut it too much, and I don't want to. If it was lined up better, I would definitely shoot it. But I've decided now, after taking a look at my options, that I'm going to go. Yeah, I love that. That I'm going to go for the 5 in the side. You saw me point to the rail, and the reason is this: I'm trying to get the cue ball here to shoot the 5 in the side. If you simply draw the cue ball a little bit off this 3, then it's going to go this way, and you're going to run into the 4. You're not going to get the cue ball up here. So I'm playing the cue ball down to the rail and then spinning it over. Then that same spin brings it up. So I pointed to where I want the cue ball to touch the rail. Let's clear these lines and see how close I come to that spot. I do get on the 5 well enough to shoot it. So it's a stun low with spin. Look at it spin, and then it brings it up. Yeah, I hit it a little, almost hit it too hard, but I would have a shot on the 4 if I didn't get a shot on that 5, most likely. Now this turned out ideal. Taking a look at it, the 4 ball is the trapped ball. It's below my potential break balls. I need to eliminate it, and I'd like to do it soon. I don't want to shoot the 5, go to some of these other balls, and have to come back around and get positioned on this 4 somehow. I want to shoot the 5, unless if that's the 3, whichever this ball is. I want to shoot that ball and shoot the 4 next. So this is a little pinch draw. Just draw it, tap the rail, and come out. And then everything's golden. Take what the table gives you. Now, normally I wouldn't play for this angle on the 4 ball, but I don't want to get behind the 8, so I'm going to accept this angle. And I think, looking on the screen right now, it looks like I have a real good opportunity to draw the cue ball here and just keep it out of trouble, and then I'll have a shot on the 1. But I guess I feel like I'm too thin, and I can go around the 1. That's dangerous. We want to be careful of that and make sure you have lots of room, because it's very easy to hit the bottom side of that ball and end up over here, scratch or no shot. So I knew that I had enough room, and I was confident I could get around it. Now, the end pattern is pretty clear, and we always say when you get to the end pattern, you want to play even more precise position. This is an ideal situation because I have 2 potential break balls. I've got a key ball into the side. You could play these balls and shoot, for example, shoot the 8 now, and then play these balls to get on the 2. Stop shot gets you on this break ball. That's one possibility. The other is to simply shoot these 4 balls and then use the 2 to get on the 8 and bounce out. And either one of those is fine. In this case, I prefer the latter. And being that's the case, I want to make sure I get real good position on this 9. Because if I get anywhere close to straight into the 9 in the side, then it's a connect the dots. It's almost a stop shot on the 9, almost a stop shot on the 7 in the corner, stop shot here, stop shot there. That's what you're looking for in your end pattern. So Notice how dealing with your trouble balls first leaves the balls that are in position to get on your break shot afterwards. So I'm not straight, but I'm straight enough. Favor this side of the shot line for the 7, so you can move the cue ball over towards the 14 a little bit. That wouldn't be the end of the world, though. If you had to stop the cue ball here, then you could just bounce off the rail, and it's still very easy to get straight in on the 2. So just an ideal situation all the way around. Now, I'm going to use the 8 ball as the key ball. So here's the shot line for the 8. You've got to get the cue ball over on this side. You don't want to try and get straight in and have to and then draw back. So much easier. Any angle will work. A lot of angles will work to be able to bounce the cue ball off the rail. As it is, I just barely got it across the shot line, but it's enough, and you got to practice the shot. You've really got to hit that hard to get it to bounce off the rail and not die on the rail here. So practice that when you have a very slight angle to bounce out. I think that was a pretty good example of just taking what the table gives you and not trying to force too much. Just deal with the balls as they are. This is probably one of the best break shots in straight pool. You love to have this slight inside angle. Most of the energy retained by the cue ball, straight high ball. Cue ball should go to the bottom rail. Let's take a look at what my result is. Oh, yeah, I remember what it is. The other alternative when the cue ball doesn't go to the bottom rail is this. See, it backed up and went forward. And I didn't look like I hit it all that hard, did it? But you need to practice that shot. The reason is, if you don't have a lot of top spin on the cue ball will hit that rack ball and stop. And it can get tied up. But by having a lot of top spin, it backs up, goes forward, and opens up more balls. And that's the reason why no 2 balls touching. Just an ideal situation now. Break balls over here with a key ball above, and there isn't the rack area balls with perimeter balls. Everything's wide open. So when you can get this result, you got to look at the table and go, that's another 14 points right there. All right. Hope you like that. Thanks for watching. See you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye.